Not the old station.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out on a Friday afternoon. But this is important enough of an announcement. I think it's critical that you all be here and have an opportunity to let the citizens of Hamilton know what's transpiring. So it is with great surprise and some regret that I have received the retirement notice from our chief, Caire. We offer our thanks and appreciation for the 6 years of strong leadership from Chief Caire and wish him well in his future endeavors. Under Glenn's leadership, we have been witness over the last 6 years to significant reductions in robbery, assaults, and break into our homes. Drug enforcement has increased, which reduced associated crimes that are committed to support their addiction. Hamilton's crime rate and violent crime severity fell faster than any other jurisdiction. Community policing and partnerships produced great results, like the Social Navigator program. The action strategy not only put more officers on the street, but helped to clean up some of the most challenged neighborhoods in our city. The chief understood the incident command system to Hamilton, or introduced, the incident command system to Hamilton, and the years of training paid off with the delivery of the 2015 Pan Am Games without incident. I wanted to just state that the chief and I have worked very well together. We communicated almost daily, and quite frankly, I will miss you, Glenn. As the chair, I am also proud that the last 3 successive budgets have come in significantly under the previous budgets. The last budget unanimously approved by the board last week at 2.79%, which is the lowest percentage request of the last 17 years. When I was first appointed to the board and 5 months later became the chair, I could tell you that police costs was a major issue, and it's not only here in Hamilton, it's across the province. And the list of accomplishment during the chief's command is long, but we can't forget an entire policy review process which led to ministry audit, where a police service never before done received an audit result of no recommendations. The single most impressive program put in place by Chief Caire, in my view, is the Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team. This innovative, first-of-the-kind in Canada program is helping to reduce arrests, divert people away from hospital, and is saving both police and the healthcare sector dollars for the taxpayers. It ensures our citizens get the right help. The team was created out of the strong partnership with the St. Joe's, the Local Health Integration Network, and the Police Services Board. The team has dealt with over 1,600 persons in crisis in the first year, which greatly exceeds all expectations. Other services across the province have also adapted this strategy. It's often said that the highest form of flattery is when people copy your initiatives. The board is doing its work of oversight and governance while adhering to the Police Services Act, is dedicated to the pursuit of public safety, and will remain committed to setting the objectives and priorities of the service. Following the holidays, we will embark on the search for a new chief, and will seek through the selection to continue to keep our citizens safe and to ensure that the public safety is our #1 priority of the board. And I would like to invite Chief Caire to the podium.
Thank you very much, Chair. It has been an honor to serve the over 540,000 citizens of the city of Hamilton as your chief for the last 6 years, and I will retire from the Hamilton Police Service effective Sunday, January the 17th, 2016. I leave at a time when the Hamilton Police Service is in fantastic shape on so many fronts, and we have just approved the lowest percentage budget request of the last 17 years, as the chair has indicated. And this follows the last 2 budgets that were also presented as the percentage request being the lowest at that time. So 3 successive years of significant budget savings, receiving unanimous support of the board, and they have been delivered against the backdrop of outstanding reductions in the crime rate, violent crime rate, and I remind everyone that Hamilton's violent crime rate decreased the fastest in 2012 of any other city in our entire nation. These are fantastic achievements by our service, Our administration has added 43 new positions to the Hamilton Police Service over the last 6 years, including 15 positions just added last week, 7.5 through the budget process, and 8 more through an administrative process. So we will put an additional 12 officers on the front line next year. We have delivered innovative achievements in public safety with the action strategy, with the bail compliance unit, and most importantly, recently with the Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team. And I will tell you that the Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team, literally in the city of Hamilton, is saving lives in our community almost daily. The Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team was put in place following major incidents involving use of force and the police, and we reviewed reports like the Yakabuchi report, the Temple report, the UK report, and the Toronto Triple Inquest. This service has taken mental health, the mental health of our members, and our police response to persons in crisis to new levels in policing, and this is a first of its kind program in Canada, being the Rapid Response Team. So what makes this project even more important in our city is the creation of the Standing Committee on Persons in Crisis, comprised of the many experts, the citizens, and people with lived experience that are helping to create a future in mental health crisis response. So I leave the service having completed over 35 years of policing, and more importantly, I've had the pleasure to work in 2 great policing organizations. The last 6 years, it has been my pleasure to work here with the greatest people ever committed and dedicated to public safety, and that is our frontline civilian and our officers that are the best this country has to offer in public safety. It's always remained my focus, my desire, and my resolve to find a way to continue to serve the people of Hamilton, to continue to contribute in a meaningful way to the revitalization of our city, and to work over the duration to enhance the safety and security of our community. Strong leadership, strategic leadership, and visionary leadership have brought me together with an institution in Hamilton that is committed to advancing the finest educational experience, committed to excellence in research, and while engaging with the greater community, they are working towards internationalization of our great city. And I have accepted an offer of employment from the finest university in our nation, McMaster University, and now, under the leadership and direction of the McMaster President, Patrick Dean, Vice President Roger Colbury, and Assistant Vice President Muhammad Atullah, we will face the challenges of engaging students in the highest quality of education, very mindful of McMaster's rich history of 128 years of education, and dedicated towards cultivating a student's greatest potential. And we will work together at McMaster to be the best university in Canada. I said many years ago that I wanted to lead this organization, and I also said that I never wanted to do it alone. So I want to thank retired Deputy Chief Ken Leendertz, Deputy Chief Eric Gert, Deputy Chief Weatherall, Marco Vizentini, and Catherine Martin, and all the members of the Senior Officers Association. But most importantly, I want to thank all the men and women that have delivered frontline policing, that contribute every day to the public safety of the people of our great city. They are the best in law enforcement. I'm happy to answer any questions.
When did you inform the Police Services Board that you would be leaving?
I informed the Police Services Board officially at 12:45 today.
Why so quickly? Why is this happening so quickly?
It's an opportunity to move forward in our organization, to build the next command, and to have an opportunity for me to join a great team at McMaster University. It gives the chair, and I have to compliment the chair on the last number of years that we have worked together, for his outstanding leadership and his outstanding work in bringing together the role of the board in governance and oversight with the role of the police service and operations. So now is the right time to do this, given the opportunity that presents itself from McMaster.
Do you have a question? Did you seek out the job at McMaster University, or did they come to you with that?
That was an entirely public process.
So it was a public, so you applied for the job?
I did.
But didn't you, you just fought to get this job back.
Mm-hmm. And my contract at the time that the McMaster posting was in place, I had no commitment of our board, so I was not ever in a conflict of interest position in this application.
Bill, do you have a question?
Well, my question is, why go through that second process?
Beg your pardon?
If you decided you wanted the job at McMaster, why go through the what seemed like a difficult process in terms of getting an extension here?
Right. My commitment was to this board, my commitment was to the city of Hamilton, my commitment was to the people of Hamilton. At the time that the board was considering my contract, I had no commitment here in the city, and I sought opportunity elsewhere.
So did you take the job at McMaster after you were renewed by the board for the 2-year extension?
I did not take the job at McMaster until after the presentation of the budget, which was done last Friday. I did not accept this position until Saturday morning.
So my question is why did you accept this position when you already have this job and you got the extension that you sought?
McMaster has offered me an opportunity to contribute to their organization over a long term, and my opportunity here with the Hamilton Police Service has been limited by the contract term.
Will you take a pay cut?
Pardon me?
Will you take a pay cut going to McMaster, or is it relatively the same salary?
I'm not going to get into salary discussions.
In terms of the police forensics building, you have a month left here. Are you going to be trying to push that forward and potentially taking that to an application if the council says no?
The forensic facility is a priority of this service and has been for almost a decade. So all of the steps are in place to continue to advance that project, and I am confident that we have the right people in place to continue that direction. It is a priority for the men and women of this service. It's a priority for the citizens. So we will continue that process, and we will continue to work with the chair. We'll continue to work with the members of the provincial parliament and the federal parliament, because what we're trying to achieve is a tripartite agreement of funding so that we can ease the burden on
The question was, would you be applying to the commission for the funding of that if council does not approve it before you leave?
I will not.
Can you have a question?
Yeah, you mentioned length of contract as one factor in making a move. Any other insights for those who might find it to be a surprising transition?
I don't think it's surprising, Ken, at all. People retire when they're in their 36th year of policing, and when these job opportunities come up, we have to take advantage of the opportunity to move to organizations. Having contributed as much as I possibly can in the form of effort and direction and leadership to the Hamilton Police Service, we're in good shape for the future. We have some terrific people that are well ready to take over the command. And we have a great string of people that are coming up within the variety of ranks that will fill those positions. So we're really confident we've got the right people in the organization.
Was there, yeah, there's been a lot of discussion lately. For example, there was a survey in the fall that the union did of its members. There have been discussions around carding and racial profiling. How did those issues play a part in your decision?
None of those issues play a part in my decision. The positions that I have taken on behalf of this service, I believe, are sound positions. They are legal positions. They are appropriate positions for public safety. They are appropriate positions for us to support our men and women on the front line. They are appropriate positions for us to work to lead this service in keeping our community safe. So they had no bearing on any of my decision.
Lisa, yes.
Chief, we've heard of some of the accomplishments during your tenure here. I'm wondering if there are any issues that, looking back on your years here now, you regret that you're not going to be able to take to fruition.
There's a number of things that I would have liked to have seen. Certainly the forensic facility is the top priority for our service. But as I stated earlier, Bill, we've got quality people with incredible knowledge and commitment to this organization that will continue to advance those arguments.
Any next question? Anybody?
Could you not have, I'm just thinking, did McMaster give you a firm start date? I'm just wondering why the board couldn't have gotten a little more notice on this.
I think it is. I think it's a process that was posted by them, controlled by McMaster. Timing is something that was completely out of my hands, but I did respond to. So the board is required in law to be notified first, and they were.
To the chair of the board, the process moving forward, will the board be holding a meeting in the next week or so to announce the acting chief of police?
No, the appointment of the acting chief of police will remain in the hands of the current chief until January 17th. So I understand that the chief wants to take a couple of weeks vacation right after the new year. So his last day of work in building will be actually December 31st. I know Glenn always enjoyed going out on New Year's Eve to do some enforcement with the frontline officers on the ride lanes. But, and then he's going off on 2 weeks vacation. And so it'll be Glenn's responsibility to appoint an acting chief, and then it'll fall back to the board after that.
Are you going to need to amend your budget request to council to pay for the recruitment process?
No.
How do you feel about the fact that you didn't know sooner?
Well, I can tell you, now I've walked in Glenn's moccasins on this, walked in his shoes. And first of all, you want this process to move quick, because you don't want a long period of time where there's chatter over the water cooler. It's just got to go bang, bang once you decide to retire. And, you know, Glenn made it to 35 years, I made it to 34. And so it's all part of the process. A quick process is best, because otherwise you just get distracted. And now my job going forward as board chair and working with the members of the board is to start a process where we will fill the chief's position. That takes a while, so there will be an acting chief appointed by the board for a period of time until such time we can pick the successful candidate.
When will you appoint that acting chief?
I have to do it on January the 18th, the next day.
Any other questions?
And the next board meeting is not until, where's Lois? I think
January 21st.
January 21st. So it's fully my expectations either to call a special board meeting, but that's not always easy because it's busy schedules. But certainly by January the 21st, we will formally as a board make an appointment. So whoever Glenn appoints as the acting chief will probably stay on that until at least January the 21st.
Like, sorry to interrupt, but you said briefly that you were surprised and sort of disappointed, but can you talk about that? I mean, you really fought for the chief to stay on in this role. Like, can you speak a little bit more about how you're feeling?
Well, I hoped you would. I've been a big advocate of Glenn's for as long as I've been on the board. And it's no secret that I carried the vote to have his contract extended 2 years ago. And, you know, this time I felt pretty comfortable with the 7-0 vote to extend his contract for a further 2 years, which would have left 3 years. And I was looking forward, quite frankly, to having an easy 2016. You know, we just went through the negotiation of both collective agreements, that is behind us, but now we got the excitement, and it'll create opportunities for people. These things always do create opportunities when top positions open up, because it just goes down through the organization.
Any other questions for the chair?
What sort of qualities will you be looking for in the next chief?
The board will sit down and decide that. Clearly, I think Glenn has done a great job, and his qualities are ones that we'll be looking for, but that'll be up to the board as we go through the interview process, Lisa.
Can I ask one more question of the chief?
Yes, and then you've got one word for the chief.
Chief, I'm wondering, you're going from being the chief of a large police service with a lot of them, and you're going to McMaster, which is also an important job, but it's a smaller, like, you know, smaller in scope. What kind of adjustment will that be for you?
McMaster is the second largest employer in our city and an organization that has great scope, depth, and breadth. I've been given an opportunity in the discussions to talk not only about the role of the designated director of security, and I do want to take a moment to recognize the work and the contribution of Terry Sullivan and his team that they have done for many years under his leadership. This is a matter of taking that opportunity to enhance the already high delivery of service there. But I think it's important to know that there are a lot of issues and challenges that present themselves in policing, and I expect to confront the same issues and challenges with McMaster and be able to contribute to their leadership team in the most positive way that I can.
Okay, we've got one more question. Bill, that will be to you. Last
No,
one.
I'm good, thank you.
You're good? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.